Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and we are standing outside my real estate brokerage, Blue Steel Real Estate. And today we're talking about real estate brokerages and if you can really make any money with them. I've had this brokerage for about 3.5 years now, and I'll give you a hint, I haven't really made that much money with it. But it's still been really nice to have, and I'm still really glad we did it. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about how to make money with brokerages, if you can make money with real estate brokerages, and the pros and cons to having your own. Now, one of the big perks of this is I also own this building right here. It's a 68,000 square foot strip mall, also with a little coffee shop and a land lease over there. And part of buying this building was I started my own real estate brokerage, fixed up the space, rented it to myself, and just for that factor alone, it was well worth it when we refinanced the property to have this brokerage have a lease in place. But that's obviously not the best reason in the world to start a brokerage. But there were other reasons I started my brokerage and why it's been a huge, massive plus for me over the last few years. So we'll show you the office, what it looks like now. I know it's been a while since I've shown you everything, and go over some of the numbers, why it's been good and bad, and talk about all of that. Now, of course, check out investormore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, be an agent, all that great stuff as well. And we have lots of books on Amazon if you want to learn more about investing in real estate, which is primarily what I do, and really primarily why I have this real estate brokerage as well. Okay, first off, this building has been amazing. We bought it for $2.1 million in 2018, same year we started the brokerage, and we refinanced it last year. It appraised for $4 million. We did do some work to it, painted everything, added this deck, did some nice stuff. We had the dance studio over here, which was not here before, so that added a bunch of value as well. And I have videos on that that go over all the numbers and everything on the building itself I'll link to below. But for the brokerage, that's a whole nother story. And so why haven't we made much money? And we'll talk about that. So first off, here we are. Oh, look, it's Justin and Janae and Brandon's in there too. They all agreed to be in the video except for Justin, so sorry, Justin. So I started this brokerage after being in another office for 15 years. In that office, my dad actually helped start before I was there. He wasn't an owner once I started there, but I was there for a very long time and thought things were going pretty well. But then I bought this building, wanted to start my own brokerage, have my own space, which as you can see is pretty decent. And when I did that, my old broker, I went to him, told him what's going on, and he literally came up with a reason to fire me in 10 days. So I had 10 days to move everything, get over here, start my own brokerage. And what I actually did is we set up a temporary spot in the dance studio where the dance studio is now while we remodeled this space, got this space ready for us. So we were able to get everything done. Luckily, I had my broker's license already, sign up with the state and get everything approved in less than 10 days. It was crazy, but we did it and we got over here. So why did I want to start a real estate brokerage? Well, probably the number one reason was what I just listed, control. To be my own managing broker, to have control of everything, not worry about another managing broker telling me what to do, what I can't do. And that really was the number one factor and why I still think having my own office is better than working for someone else, even if it's not the most cost effective. So we'll talk about that. One thing while I'm back here, I do rent out an office back here to a lender, Josh with Gateway Mortgage, really cool guy. So that gives us an extra few $100 a month for this space. And there are ways to make money in your office, even besides having agents. And I will have before videos that I link to as well, because back here was all cubicles. This was kind of a conference room broken up to 2 rooms. Up front was all cubicles. This was an office right here. That wasn't a kitchen. We did that. We redid all the bathrooms. So those were completely redone. We spent quite a bit of money remodeling this place, and a lot of really nice, a lot of fun. Paint all the ceiling tiles, paint all the walls, put in some fun stuff like the barn doors. So we put a lot of work into it. And even from the very beginning, I kind of knew it probably wouldn't make me much money. We had to buy most of this furniture. I think some of the chairs we had from some weird deals I did over the years, but bought some TVs, different stuff. Try to do it affordably. We didn't just go crazy, but try to have some cool stuff too, like the old pictures of Greeley, where we're at. That's the old Campfield Hotel, the old Sterling building, which are no longer there, unfortunately. And make it a fun place. We have another kind of conference room in here where I've done some of my videos. This is where I do a lot of my whiteboard videos. If you've seen them, I don't do many of those anymore. Do more of the computer videos. And my books, have lots and lots of books. And lots more books here. So sometimes we do book giveaways, and that's what those are for. And then we have my office over here, which we share with Nikki, and she'll be annoyed because none of us have cleaned up our desks or made them very nice. And then, yeah, back there, Justin's office, Alex's office, Ryan's office. And of course, if you guys haven't seen it, we have the golf simulator room with a car in here once in a while. Here's a Supra. And we haven't had to use this golf simulator all year long. It is almost 2022, winter in Colorado, and we've literally been able to golf every single week outside. So that's why it looks kind of unused in here, because we haven't had to use it when we've been able to play golf all year long. It's crazy. Now, I also have an upstairs to this space. So this is kind of a cool little area we haven't done much with. When we first bought the building, and over the years, we've asked people, hey, what should we do up here? And there's some really good ideas, but we never did anything because we have so many other projects going on. It just really didn't make sense to spend time and money up here, but it is pretty large. And again, every time I have my camera with fluorescent lights, it has this crazy flashing that doesn't show up in real life. So they're flashing a tiny bit right now, but not like it is on camera. So I promise I talk about the brokerage, and if it makes money, why does it make money? And we'll get to that here now soon. So basically, I talked to a lot of brokerages, managing brokers, people who owned offices before I started mine. And kind of the consensus was, you're probably not going to make much money or any money owning a real estate office. And it didn't deter me, because that wasn't my main goal. My main goal is having control, my own space, being able to do my own thing, which is what I've had, and it's been awesome. But why don't many people make money on a real estate brokerage? Well, it's pretty simple economics. So it's very dark here. Hopefully I don't have anything in this stairwell to run into. You have to have staff, right? We saw Janae up there. I have other staff that help with bookkeeping, different things. You've got to pay rent for the building, although for me it makes much more sense because I own the building. You've got to pay internet, utilities, phone bills, shuffleboard salt. Like, there's a lot of expenses that come into operating a brokerage. And that doesn't count, taking care of your agents, depending on if you pay for signs or not, if you pay for marketing or not, if you have advertisements. There's all kinds of stuff that can go into it. Here's our sign closet. And you can see how they're the stairs we went up before. But there's a lot of expenses. And the thing with the brokerage is you really have to have a whole lot of agents who are selling houses to make money with it. Because basically how a real estate brokerage makes money is they have agents who are in the office, and they usually will pay a desk fee if they have an office in the brokerage. So like Brandon pays a desk fee, Justin pays a desk fee, and then you get a split of their commissions. So when they sell a house, you also get part of their commission. So like maybe you get 10%, 20%, 50%, depending on the office. But lately, more and more, it's ranging towards the 10, 20% split, because there's so much competition among real estate brokerages. So if Brandon sells a $400,000 house, he might make a 3% commission. All commissions are negotiable. That's just an example. So he might get $12,000 for selling that house, but then he gets not what he gets, I don't want to disclose that. Let's just say he gets 80% of it, I get 20%, so then I'd get $2,400 on that one deal. He gets the vast majority of it. And so you really have to have a lot of agents selling quite a few houses to make a decent amount of money with a brokerage. Because while that sounds like a decent amount of money for not doing much work, I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things I have to do as a broker, right? I'm responsible for all of them, pretty much financially, for, if they mess up, they make a mistake. I'm the managing broker, I'm the one in charge. There's a lot of liability there. We have to have an O&E insurance. We have to have liability insurance, all kinds of things going on. We have to have our workers' comp for any employees. There's a lot of business expenses that go into it. So the offices that seem to do well and seem to make money either have a lot of agents, like huge, like 50 some agents, and hopefully quite a few of them are selling houses, or they're kind of small niche offices that have really, really good agents. They spend a ton on marketing and they kind of charge higher fees to those agents. And so we're kind of in between that, where we don't have a lot of agents. I also don't want to charge a whole lot of fees to my agents because I'm not out here doing, it's not a full-time job for me as a broker. It's more of a oversight, help for my own investing, help for my own business type of deal. And so I can't justify charging them a ton of money when I'm not out there advertising, having a full-time job, advocating for them to sell houses. It's kind of on them to do their own thing. So for me, my brokerage is an advantage where I don't have to pay fees to a managing broker because I'm the managing broker. It saves me money when I buy houses, when I buy flips, when I buy rentals. And when I sell houses, I sell flips, I sell rentals, it saves me a ton of money as well. So from that aspect, it's worth it for me and it's worth it to have control. But it literally probably breaks even when you consider all the costs that go into it and the expenses. Now, I have a little more costs and a few more expenses that I need to have, as you can see, but that's also kind of a lifestyle thing where it's like, hey, I'm in a pretty good position. We bought the building, made a ton of money there. It's okay to splurge a little bit on our office where we work and have fun here. So something else to consider when you run a brokerage is that, if you hire new agents, have new people starting, which we did in the beginning, we worked with some brand new people, as all gung-ho about training, recording training, having all this great stuff going on. And what we found is very hard to find people who were actually motivated and wanted to do well in real estate. Everyone says they want to, but there are very few who actually showed those actions they wanted to. And then those who did, a lot of times didn't listen to us when we told them what to do, what you have to do to be an agent, be successful, talk to people, do open houses, call people, go out there and do it. Very few of them actually want to do that to be successful. And then what you find too is when you do find those few people who are successful, do really well, sometimes they can leave your office for no reason at any time to go find greener pastures, cheaper commission rates, a different office. So if you're a full-time managing broker, that's your whole job, is marketing for people, managing agents, helping them out, and you want to have a big office and lots of people and lots of houses selling, and a really gung-ho agent culture, you can make money with a brokerage. But it's very tough to do it just having a small, nonchalant, brokerage like mine with a giant office. So I don't want to give anybody their super hopes up that, you can make so much money, it's so awesome, you'll just make bank being a broker. Because really, most brokers I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of them, even some people who recently started offices are like, man, I wish I knew you didn't make much money when you became a broker. I'm like, you should ask me. I would have told you. But most people will make more money selling houses as an agent than owning a real estate brokerage. So if you want to spend your time to really maximize it to make the most money, honestly, it's being an agent. But for me, it makes sense because I'm an investor, saves me a ton of money. I have people in this office like Nikki and Justin and Alex who help with other stuff too. They're not just agents. They're helping with the whole investing side of the business because we do 15 to 25 flips a year, buy lots of rental properties a year, sell lots of properties a year. And so that's the core of my business, not being a broker. So in conclusion, starting a brokerage can be fun, can be awesome, can be very helpful, especially if you're an investor. but you really have to keep it small and affordable, unlike mine, if you want to make money on it, or you really kind of have to go all out, have a managing broker hire, right? You can hire a managing broker and be the owner too, or hire someone that's a marketing expert that manages the office. Some of the most successful offices in our area hire people just to be the managing broker, just to be the marketing person for all the agents, keep them going, keep them making money. So I love my office. I love having it. I love having the people here and the help here who help me out and help me do all kinds of things. But the office itself doesn't really make money. If I wanted to be a full-time managing broker and that's all I did and spent all my time doing, sure, we could probably make more money, have a successful business doing that. But I also probably want to tear my hair out all the time, not just dealing with my agents and their issues and problems, but then you're dealing with all the other agents too who have issues and problems with your agents and dealing with other managing brokers and sponsoring tons of events and going out there and just being really gung-ho in the community, which I love helping the community, doing things. We help the food bank, lots of different stuff, but I'm more of a low-key type helper, not a giant sponsor. All right, so hopefully this video was slightly informative and gives you an idea of what it's like running a brokerage, at least for us. Like I said, we have lots more information on being a real estate agent, getting your license, all of that on investformore.com. I have a book, How to Make It Big as a Real Estate Agent, as well, for real estate agents who are interested in having a career. And I do talk about brokerages in there a little bit too. And lots of books on other parts of investing as well. Like I said, being an agent and broker is a huge advantage to my investing. Gets me more deals, saves me tons of money. I, for sure, 100% suggest being an agent if you want to be an investor who does a lot of deals. But owning your own brokerage may or may not be right for you, depending on how far you want to go. And you can, in most states, have a one-person brokerage where it's just you doing everything with some assistance. But again, there's just so many different levels and places you can go with the brokerage. And some do really well, but a lot of them don't make a lot of money. So keep that in mind. All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back with many more videos of actual houses coming up soon. I think we've got 3 houses we're buying this week, so stay tuned.